Hello and welcome to the channel where in this video we'll talk about the recent updates on Afghanistan. In the last few days, the Taliban entered Kabul, captured the presidential palace and with it the entire nation of Afghanistan. The erstwhile Afghan president, Ghani, fled. Taliban declared themselves to be in charge of the country, changed the flag and renamed the country to the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Here are some of the events that have caught media attention over the last few days in Afghanistan. On August 6, 2021, the Taliban captured Zaranj, the provincial capital of Nimruz province, making it the first major capture of a provincial city by the group since the 2001 invasion. A spokesperson for the local police confirmed that the city has fallen into Taliban control and blamed the lack of reinforcements of the military from the central government. On August 14, 2021, the Taliban captures the eastern Logar province and seizes 7 more provincial capitals as heavy fighting is reported amid a rapid advance of the group towards the capital Kabul. U.S. diplomatic staff and Western nationals are airlifted out of a heavily fortified part of Kabul. Taliban reached the outskirts of Kabul as the government sought to control the city as a last stronghold. Taliban forces seized the palace of the US-backed Afghan warlord Abdul Rashid Dostum in Mazar-i-Sharif amid reports that the warlord had left the country. Former warlord and governor of Balkh Atta Mohammed Noor had also left the country, according to reports. For the first time since the offensive began, the Taliban commandeers Mi-17 helicopters captured from the Afghan Air Force. The militants were filmed flying the aircraft over the city of Kandahar. The jihadist group has also seized several UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters. On August 15, 2021, Kabul was captured by the Taliban. They entered Kabul and seized the presidential palace, overthrowing the government. President Ashraf Ghani and Vice President Amrullah Saleh left the country and are currently in Tajikistan. Taliban officials indicate that there will be no transitional government in Afghanistan, saying that the group expected a complete transfer of power from the Ghani government. Secretary-General of the United Nations Antonio Guterres called on the Taliban to exercise restraint and respect human rights, especially those concerning women and girls. Guterres also expressed concern at the civilian casualties in areas of conflict. In his first public comments since going into exile, ousted President Ashraf Ghani concedes that the Taliban has won the war in Afghanistan, saying that they are now facing a new historical test. Either they will preserve the name and honor of Afghanistan or they will give priority to other places and networks. The Afghan military transfers control of Bagram Airfield, formerly the largest U.S. airbase in the country, to the Taliban. 5,000 unlawful combatants are freed from the airbase's military prison. Embassies of Western countries are evacuated and relocated at Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport. The Russian embassy is not evacuated, as it considers that the situation in Kabul is a bit tense, but there is no war in the city. The Turkish embassy also remains open. Taliban spokesperson Mohammed Naeem says on Al Jazeera Mubashir that the war in Afghanistan is over. On August 16, 2021, Russia accused President of Afghanistan Ashraf Ghani of fleeing with 4 cars and a helicopter full of cash, and that he left money behind as it would not all fit in. Ghani's whereabouts are still unknown, although multiple sources say he fled to Tajikistan. The first Afghan president after the 2001 United States invasion, Hamid Karzai, announces that he and his daughters are remaining in Kabul as he appeals to the Taliban to respect his life and civilians in Afghanistan. Saudi Arabia calls on the Taliban and all Afghan parties to preserve lives and property. The statement further states that Saudi Arabia stands with the decision of the Afghan people without interference. The Taliban sets up a cordon and blocks access to the airport, also firing warning shots as civilians attempt to flee. 2 people are filmed falling to their deaths from a U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster III over the airport. Local reports say the stowaways landed on nearby rooftops. In a separate incident, 3 civilians are run over and killed while clinging onto a U.S. jet on the runway. U.S. President Joe Biden addresses the U.S. following his decision to withdraw from Afghanistan. In the address, Biden said that he stands squarely behind the decision to withdraw from the country and admits that the government's collapse was quicker than anticipated. On August 17, 2021, Taliban member of the Cultural Commission, Enamullah Samingani, announced an amnesty across Afghanistan and urged women to join their government in the first mention of women's rights by the group since seizing Kabul. The Taliban says that they will respect women's rights and security under the Islamic Emirate. The Taliban also says that they have encouraged women to return to work and have allowed girls to return to school. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says that the Taliban is prepared to provide safe passage to civilians who are attempting to leave Kabul. So that's it for a quick update on the Afghanistan situation. I'll see you in the next video, and please give a like if you enjoyed the video.